Speaking of the head coach, Kalani Sitake joins us now live over Zoom to talk about, yes, the signees, the new coach, quarterback situation. But first and foremost, Kalani, what's this day like for you emotionally right before Christmas? Because there is so much happening on a day like today.
Well, just really excited. I mean, anytime you can have, young men join the team, join the program, and it's not just them. You get that connection with their entire family, with everyone that loves them in their high school programs, and so the family, BYU football families, just got bigger, and that's always a great time to do it after a bowl game when you have to say goodbye to some people. But I'm really excited that these young men are joining our program. I'm honored to be their coach, and thankful that we were able to get it done. And this is just the beginning. There's going to be more coming in, and we'll have some signees trickling in even today. And then between now and February, we'll have a few more that, probably a little bit more that will join us. And so really looking forward to having them be part of our group and our program and our family.
No school has a signing day like BYU for various reasons. It's the high school kids, it's the JUCO, the P5 guys. It's also the return missionaries, which we'll get to later, probably in January. But let's talk about the quarterback situation. Certainly there are a few guys perhaps coming to BYU, but that all depends on a decision from Jaren Hall. What's the conversation been like from the coaching staff and you with Jaren about his decision?
Well, I think Jaren's looking through what would be the best thing for him, but he's trying to consider all of it, And he and his family are taking their time, and I think, if there's a chance for him to come back, he can take all the time he wants. And I know that there's a lot of people that are impatient with it, but I promise you that if we just give him the time that he needs to make the right decision, the key is to let him feel good about it. And if we can just focus on that, I think that would be the key. We just want him to know that we love him and we want him here. So, hopefully he'll make the decision soon, but I know he'll make the right one.
Any concern that if he takes too long, that certain quarterbacks that want to come to BYU may go elsewhere?
That's always the concern, but I think we have a really good relationship with the guys that we've been talking to. We feel good about our program, our depth, and the possibilities, and so I think we'll be okay.
Coach, before we get into the individuals and the signees, you announced last night a new defensive line coach, one of your friends who you worked closely with at the University of Utah, and I know he's very close to Jay Hill as well, Sione Po'uha. What did it take to get him back to BYU out of retirement and coaching that defensive line group?
Well, that guy's born to be around football, and so when Jay and I were looking at possibilities and who to add, it was pretty easy that he was at the top of the list. And then just talking to him and his wife Katie, we wanted to spend some time letting them know what the program's about, the schedule, our expectations of him. He has a wonderful life, but I think he's looking at this opportunity to enhance it and make it even more fulfilled, being that he's going to be able to mentor so many great young men and be involved with our program. Obviously, BYU is unique, and I think what we have, the mission of the church and the mission of our school and our university, aligns exactly with what he's trying to accomplish right now. And really looking forward to him joining our group. And we've had great meetings already. He showed up here ready to work, and that's all that guy does is work hard and do it the right way and influence people as he goes along. So I'm really, really happy that he's going to be coaching our D-line.
Listen, I know some BYU fans don't want to hear it, but the truth is, if you can replicate in some way the effectiveness that the Utah defenses have had for a long time, led by you and helped by Jay Hill and Sione and obviously Kyle, hey, that's great. And there's a lot of sort of influence that direction here, which is super exciting. So my real question is, how'd you get Sione to come out of retirement? Because that's awesome, man.
I think the timing worked really well for him, and talking to him and his family, that this is what he and his family wanted, and I think he's probably the best one to ask that question to. But I just know that we wanted him here, and we feel good about it. Listen, if you want to look back at the roots of football from BYU, the air raid, all that system that's out there, the spread the ball out and throw the ball. We were one of the originators that did it here. So, and you look at defensively, we love what Kyle Whittingham has done. I'm honored that he mentored me in that defense. You have to look at who mentored him, and that's his dad, Big Fred. Big Fred was also a coach here at BYU. So it's okay. We're all one big family. The roots in the tree extend way further than what people can see right now. All we're focused on right now is giving the young men on our team and our fans what they deserve, and that's a complete defense that can run the show and do a lot of different things, whether it's be aggressive, cover man-to-man, get guys developed on and off the field, and send them in opportunities to accomplish their dreams. That's what we're focused on getting done here.
No, well said from the head football coach of BYU, Kalani Sitake, who was live on BYU Sports Nation. You just mentioned some names are going to be trickling in that recruiting class. We just got one moments ago. It is Isaiah Bagna, defensive end, who is from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. He's a Boise State transfer and a guy that Kelly Papinga worked with and knew very well. I know you and your staff are very excited about the 6'4", 225-pound edge rusher. What can you tell us about Isaiah, Coach?
Big-time playmaker, and the production shows in his ability to make sacks. And so I know that he went into the portal. We jumped on it quickly, and obviously K-Pop knows how to mentor those edge rushers. This guy, he's big and strong and athletic, and he wants to be here for the right reasons, and we're excited for him to be here, part of our group.
20 career sacks. I love that. Okay, another guy that came in, Tui Pututau, 6'5", 260, defensive lineman out of Salt Lake and West High School, 3-star recruit, mission first guy, committed on a visit, real big dude. Tell us about Tui.
Yeah, big, strong. I mean, you recognize the last name just from a long line of athletic and strong brothers. So we're looking forward to him. Obviously going to go on a mission first, but just really proud that we were able to get him here at BYU, get him on campus. I think once his family and he were able to be here and then connect with people other than just football, they felt really comfortable, and I'm really excited to invite him to our program as well.
Coach, I do want to go back to the running back room. We've talked a lot about Aiden Robbins and what he brings from UNLV as a 1,000-plus yard rusher. What's he going to do in this BYU offense?
Well, I mean, the proof is in what he does already with the ball in his hands. And what I like about him is that he's willing to learn and get better. And his football IQ is ridiculous. I mean, he's so smart when it comes to the game of football. And he's, we had a chance at him in high school, and it came down to us in Louisville. And so it's interesting how things come back around. And now he's here, and he's bigger than he's been, but has tons of athleticism and speed. But he's always looking for ways to get better, and I think we're going to get a great version of Aiden, and looking forward to him working with our offense, working with Harvey, working with A-Rod and Fessy and the whole group, and he's excited about our O-lineman too. He was able to watch our practices, and so like, man, there's a lot of great young depth there. So he's really excited about being able to run behind them, but also just pitching in whatever he can do. I know that he's looking at the different roles that he can bring, leadership. And he's here for the right reasons. He wants to be part of the BYU culture, be part of the honor code, be involved with what BYU has to offer, and looking forward to becoming a better player and a better person because of it.
I want to ask you about a couple of incoming freshmen who will play right away, and Siale Po'uha and Jackson Bowers, linebacker, perhaps D-end, and a tight end.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Bowers is a big-time tight end. He's big and strong, and if you look at his body, he's ready to play right now. And so we're looking forward to him doing things for us early, and he can do it all. He can catch, he can block, and he's got great athleticism, can run, and he's a big sized kid. And so just a really great young man to be around, him and his family. Looking forward to him doing his work here, man. We've had, that town of Mesa has done some great things to get us some good players, and so really excited that he's part of our family as well. And then Siale Po'uha is, right here, local product, a big-time recruit that had both these guys had a bunch of offers, and we had to fight a bunch of guys off to get them here. But I think they chose the school for the right reasons, and it's not just because of the coaches and the scheme. It's because they're connected to the church. They're connected to what this place is all about, and I think they see the type of person that they'll be doing their time here for 4 to 5 years. And so Siale will compete. Both he and Jackson will compete right away for playing time. Siale's got he's really big, so he can play a lot of different positions. And but we'll see. He can play linebacker. He can play outside linebacker, inside. He can play D end. He can play whatever we need him to. He's willing to do that, but I think we'll start him at linebacker first and see how everything progresses from there. But with that versatility, you can use him in a lot of different roles, and you can see some of the things that we can do with disguises and blitzes and scheme that I think Jay Hill's going to have a lot of fun with him.
I can see the smile crossing your face when you're talking about Siale, Coach. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. Congratulations.
I've been waiting to talk about these guys for a long time, so now it's here. Let's go, man.
We're here for it, man. Congratulations on a great recruiting class thus far. We know that we're going to hear more names. We'll say goodbye to you for now, but let's do this again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas. Go Cougs.
You got it. Kalani
Go Cougs.
Sitake with us on BYU Sports Nation.